next here at 6 o'clock on NBC4. You just heard it. Police reform. The LAPD has just created a new bureau to expand one of the department's most successful crime-fighting initiatives. Good evening. I'm Chuck Henry along with Carolyn Johnson. Mayor Eric Garcetti made that announcement just moments ago, and we have Eric Leonard with us right now.
Yeah, Eric, you're very familiar with the research that's going on. How big a change is this, and how tough is it going to be to implement it?
Well, hi, Carolyn and Chuck. This is a real pivot in the philosophy of the LA Police Department. The Community Safety Partnership has been something of an experimental program that was isolated in a few small neighborhoods around the city. It's seen tremendous success, bridging real conflicts between neighborhoods and police officers by assigning the same officers to work in those neighborhoods year after year. They required a 5-year commitment where those officers could really learn the community, meet the people who live there, and become partners in improving the quality of life. That involved youth programs, sports programs, getting to know people block by block. And as it succeeded, it's been expanded into different areas, but it's been small because it requires that sort of one-on-one interpersonal relationship building that takes time, and that isn't easily expanded citywide. What they're talking about today, and you'll hear from a newly minted deputy chief, Imada Tingarides, who's been promoted several steps up, several ranks at a time to run this new bureau, is to take the philosophy of that program and expand it into every facet of what the LAPD does. Here's what she had to say.
I want to first start off by recognizing and thanking Chief Moore for this decision. I don't take it lightly. He understands the direction that policing needs to take in this time, and I couldn't be more honored to do this, Chief. Thank you so much.
You heard from a UCLA researcher who spoke during that news conference. They spent a year studying whether or not this program worked and found that, in fact, it did. Crime rates were lower. Friction between the community and police officers was way down. So it had lots of benefits. Again, the question is going to be, how do you take something that works block by block and expand it citywide? That's going to be the task. This is a huge reorganization of the department also. It's going to require pulling in officers from all over the place who are working in other assignments now to take this on. The one thing officers who've worked in this unit have told us is that it requires a full buy-in. Officers have to believe that this 5-year assignment is going to produce a result. It's going to produce this better relationship with the community. It's going to lead to all of the things that police reform activists have been calling for all of these years. The thing is, though, it takes time, and now we have to see how they're going to go about pulling that off. Reporting live, I'm investigative reporter Eric Leonard, NBC4 News. Back to you.
Eric, where does the civilian aspect of all this come in? Mayor Garcetti mentioned a civilian, a deputy chief. We understand that Imada Tingarides, who is a uniformed officer, is the deputy chief. Is there another co-deputy chief in here? Or do we misunderstand that?
Yeah, the LAPD has, I'm not exactly sure how they're going to arrange it. It's been sort of the worst kept secret at the LAPD for about the last month as plans were being discussed. Tingarides is going to be the boss. She has worked in South LA for much of her career. She grew up there. Her husband is a recently retired LAPD commander from South Bureau, and she is really well loved in the community in a way that we haven't seen among other LAPD figures probably in quite a while. She's the boss, and she's being elevated a few rank steps in order to take on this new responsibility. The LAPD has a dual administrative role for people who are not police officers but are in charge of large divisions, and it's possible they may add somebody in that role as well. We'll have to find out.
Thank you, Eric Leonard.